My people, we are on this issue of is it Maracruz or something. I don't know the lady's name with Adija, if I'm correct. We've had some information from the both of them based on what they posted on their pages. And some people are blaming the lady for asking Adija to change her name, her business name at some point and all of that. And some people are also blaming Adija for some oversights and all of that. Well, all of these things are happening for us to learn so that it does not repeat itself again. It's not for you to mock. It's not for you to use it to be trending. It is for you to actually learn, because when mistakes happen, it's very, very easy for you to just laugh. But if you do not learn what you need to learn, it can still happen in your own life. That's just the truth. And it's not a prayer. It's not a prayer. But I have noticed that the things with business owners is that they always say, God forbid it will not happen to me. But God forbid is not a strategy. Based on what has happened, we don't even know the entire story, but based on what each party has said, there ought to have been some form of agreement between the both of them. And there was a 20 million naira investment somewhere by the lady Mara to Adicha's business. How that money ought to have been spent is not exactly clear and clearly spelled out, although we saw a list of items that she got for that amount. We also heard about expanding the business to Warri, and I think her followers also said that she announced it at some point and she posted a picture and she was like, my business is going international, all of that. You know, when people come with investments, these are the things that comes to your mind. But you know what? Whenever you have an investment offer, the first person you should speak to is your lawyer. I will say it now, but you will not listen. The first person you should speak to is your lawyer. Speak to your lawyer. Speak to your lawyer. Don't just assume that you understand. See, you know your business, you understand your business, you even understand the risk and losses, but you don't know legal implications of agreements. You do not know. You don't even know how far bad things can go if there is a word like that. So there's an agreement somewhere, of course, but if you go to a court of law, there is an agreement. But was it written down? Were you advised by a lawyer on what to do? Is there any written document clearly stating your obligations? And for the fact that somebody invested in your business, does that mean that that person now comes to co-own the business? Is that what it really means? Because I saw a place where she was telling the woman that her brother should be a bit careful. The way he was coming to talk to the staffs, was trying to usurp her authority and trying to make her feel like she's not the owner of the business, and all of that. Of course, someone has put in 20 million in your business. What do you expect? But now, this is where I'm saying, whenever people come with an offer, to mention as many things as I can mention in this video, you pick what you know you can learn from this so that it doesn't happen to you. Because honestly, nobody is actually above mistakes when it comes to this, but you can actually guard against them, right? So number one, when she gave me the 20 million naira offer for you, did you have someone watch you? Because you sent some pictures, and all those pictures, I'm not seeing anybody like your own person. I'm seeing you, but that's the Adija lady. I'm not seeing probably another party with you. Probably I'm not so sure. But then anyhow, you ought to have come with your lawyer, because whenever there's an agreement, the person that will lose the most when it is not written down is the person that should insist that it is written down, because what you will lose the most. Now let's come to the issue of her changing the name of her business. Parties are bound by the agreement. So if, for instance, you say you want to come with 20 million naira and you say, okay, I want you to change the business to reflect my own name, because it's 20 million naira. Yes, it's your blood and it's your sweat. But 20 million naira, how much is your business worth, first of all? If, for instance, you said your business is worth 20 million naira and she has now brought 20 million naira, assuming, because when it comes to investment, these are the things that your lawyer will look at. What is that business valued at? Okay, so this person is coming with 20 million naira. What does this person own? What is this person asking for? Do they want equity in exchange of that 20 million naira? Probably maybe 20% equity, 30% equity, 50% equity, 90% equity, all the entire business. What are they asking for in exchange for that? Or do they actually just want a return on their money? So use this 20 million naira in your business for the next 3-5 years and give me 20% on the return every year. And at the end of the 5th year, give me my 20 million naira with my return on interest. That's also a form of partnership, right? You could also say, okay, we want to expand. Probably if I have like a system, I have like a technology behind my business and everything I have set up, I can come and set up something similar to that, right? With my own team and all of that. You bring the infrastructure, you bring the resources, I'll bring the infrastructure, and then we're going to share it like this, like this, like this. We can do that. It's called franchising or licensing. It's not, it doesn't have to be that, okay, you have to like come and own the one that I'm running. Do you understand where I'm coming from? assuming that is what you want to do. So there are different ways actually that people can actually partner with you. But now there's even a huge difference between a partner and an investor, right? Because not all investors are partners. Not all investors are partners. What do I mean? A partner is someone that shares in the profit and the losses of the business. So for instance, that person is working actively in the business too. That person is probably contributing finances, advisory, strategy, resources, network, referrals, marketing, and all of that. And you are also doing, maybe you're doing the operations, you're doing, and all the backlog of all the energy you've put in for this business to get to this point where it has gained the traction and the visibility that it has as we speak. So what exactly were your terms? Those are the questions your lawyer should ask if you had one. Those are the questions. So your partner will share in the losses and the profits, but an investor will not necessarily do same. Now I cannot spill everything in this particular video, but you have to know that they are different. An investor is not the same thing as a partner. An investor is not the same thing as a partner. An investor can just give money and that's all. Nothing concerns anything. They will just give money, and at the end of the day, what they want is their return on interest. They have equity and all of that. So you have to essentially state it clearly in white and black. This is the reason why we say have hard talk sessions. This is the reason why we say talk to your lawyer. Your lawyer will bring out those situations that your mind could not even have thought of. Because most times when you have these offers, you're excited, your dopamine increases. You're not in the exact rational frame of mind to make the best logical decisions. That is why you need a third party, and a professional one at that can see beyond what you are saying. The best time to make agreement is when everybody's happy. It's not when everybody has become sad. The best time to make those agreements is when everyone is in peace. It's not when there is trouble. So you prepare for that day, so that when that day comes, we go back to that what is written. That thing that is written does not have feelings. So that thing that is written is not experiencing Nigerian economy. That thing that is written, that contract, that agreement that is written is not experiencing all the vacillations, in the economy. If there was rise this year in agricultural produce or not, what is written does not, unless it is clearly stated that subject to such the market trend or the rise of goods in market or inflation, if all of those things are not contained in your agreement, then you cannot claim indemnity. You cannot ask to be excused in such situations. And this is, like I said, not to blame anybody, but I'm just telling you in the real sense of it, how it works. Right? So when someone tells you change the name of your business so that it can reflect us, it's because they've put in money and they feel like, okay, I should own this. So for them to say that means you have actually consented to some form of influence that they will have in the business, which we are not all fully in the picture right now. And there's nothing wrong for your partner to say, change this name for us to reflect. If both of you agree, that is what the law interprets. That's what will be, right? So parties must agree. You must agree. So it's not outside the law for someone to say, okay, change the name of your business to reflect what we're doing now. People change their business names every now and then, from local to global, to reflect their new face, to reflect what they are doing, from a single company to a group, to a holding, to a consortium, and all of that. But what I'm saying here is that parties must agree, and not just in word but in writing. Don't do handshake deals. Don't go to fancy restaurants and have conversations without your lawyer. Just having that your lawyer come in place would have solved a lot of issues, whereby if there are issues, everybody's bound by that, and we can all have a ground where we can start from. But when those things are not in place, you have opened your entire affair to the devil. Let me just put it that way. Because see, the moment you say you're not involving a lawyer in that transaction, you have opened it to the devil. Sorry to say, because anybody can cheat you. Anybody can take advantage of the loopholes and wreck your business and wreck you. When we say work with a lawyer, talk to a lawyer, we are not saying it because we need your money. Yes, you're going to pay us, but the cost of not having a lawyer is higher than having a lawyer. It's higher, it's way higher, A lot of things can go wrong. You can even accrue, you can take in more liability than you ever thought you will in your entire life. Right? There's nothing wrong in having investors come to your business, but you must work with a lawyer. I remember some time ago, someone met me and said there's someone wanted to invest an amount in their business. And she said she wanted to ask some questions and all of that. And I'm like, okay, this is my consultation fee. She said the consultation fee was too much. And she went ahead. I don't know how eventually. But then these are the things that business owners do. Somebody wants to put in millions in your business and you don't deem it fit to say, okay, let me talk to somebody. If I want to receive this kind of money, then I should be able to talk to someone that can at least protect me. Because see, the higher the money, the higher the liability, the higher the investment, the higher responsibility is on you. 20 million is not a small money. And yes, you might say, okay, I've built this business, but what is that business valued as at now? What is it valued at? So can that business now produce that 20 million naira easily without any stress? But that's not even the point here. Whatever it is, even people who have very big businesses still get investors, but they ensure that they do the proper paperwork. Nobody's stopping you from getting investment. But when you want to get investment, talk to your lawyer. Talk to a business lawyer that can guide you properly, that can tell you exactly what you need to do. Now, what's the way forward? That one will require paid consultation. But for now, as a business owner, you want to go into an agreement with someone who wants to give you money. Don't just say, no, I'll do this myself. Talk to a lawyer. You'll be grateful you did that. You'll be very grateful you did that, because it could actually, if tables are turned, it could cost you your brand, your reputation, your entire business. Because instead of focusing on your business, you are dragging cases with people. You are sorting out one legal issue or the other. You are going to court. Think of the energy spent. Think of the time wasted. Think of the bridges burnt. Think of the reputation, your reputation tainted and damaged because of one silly oversight. Do you understand? So these are the things. And like I said, this is not the time for you to see this person is right or wrong. Because if you look at it, you could see that both parties have their fault. Why would you go into such humongous agreement without putting it in writing? Why? That's not, you understand? It does not matter. You should put that in writing. So that's it. It's clear that both parties actually have their faults, and all of that. But then I'm saying this for others that are considering getting investors. I'm not saying don't have investors, because in one way or the other, you still need investors. But ensure you do the proper paperwork. That's your best bet. That's your best bet, honestly. That's your best bet. And understand the implications of the things you are agreeing to. Don't just say, my breakthrough has come, and then shut off your logical reasonings and all that. All your safeguards. This is the reason why you need a lawyer to walk you through that. I'm your lawyer. I'm not the one that got the listing. So me, my own emotion is not like your own. I'm stable. I know the law. You know your business. You know the market trends, but you don't know the law. You don't know what the law says in situations like this. And sometimes when you use the general principles, it can even be against you. That is why parties have to agree on certain things, clauses to protect each party. And everybody will go home happy and smiling. And even if there is a case, an unfavorable condition, if your lawyer has already put those clauses, it will save you, it will cushion the effect, and it will give everybody a safe landing. We don't have to hurt ourselves, because at the end of the day, parties are hurt. What every other person wanted was just to make profits. I'm not sure when they were going into this, they wanted to end up with, blocking each other, fighting, throwing words, cursing at each other. Everybody just wanted to do business with partners and go, or even grow to a bigger level. So I know it's a painful thing, and it makes it look like partnerships don't work, but they do when they have the proper legal structure for them. So share this with the business owner today. Bye.